It's pickup time, bitch!
Hello world, I'm Gazz Welcome to this episode of Gazz's Pickups. I haven't made a video in 3 weeks. I'm so sorry to my subscribers and the people who watch. I've not been in a great place, so I just haven't made one. Anyway, this week, in fact, everything I've got here, I've picked up basically within the last week. The 2 weeks before it, I didn't really get anything. So yeah, first things first. I picked this up on Amazon Prime Day for $15.99. A brand new boxed PlayStation Mini Classic. Now, I'm not a big fan of PlayStation, as anyone who watches this channel might actually recognise and know. I think the games on here are a shocking shit show of games. Don't get me wrong, I think that having Final Fantasy 7 on here is good. Metal Gear Solid's good. Resident Evil Director's Cut is good. Looking at the rest of Rayman, it's good. But apart from that, none of these games scream to me PlayStation. You know, when you ask anybody in the street, anybody, your friends, anybody, do you remember the PlayStation? The first thing they start saying is games like Tomb Raider, games like Crash Bandicoot, games like Croc. You know, these games, there's so many iconic games on this console. I've got loads of them over there. You know, Gran Turismo. Why is Gran Turismo not on this? Spyro the Dragon. The medieval games as well. And this, if I remember right, this got Abe's Odyssey. It does have Abe's Odyssey on it. So this is missing so many iconic games, and whilst you're giving, let's say you give 10 to 15 iconic games, why not give a game like Tombi? You know, games like Lomax, these games that are quite hard to get hold of, kind of expensive. You know, I'm pretty sure the people who own the rights to these games would really be happy for them to be showcased again, and for them to be seen and played again. I think that Sony themselves, I think it was a shit show. I think they rushed this thing out. I don't think they gave any consideration to the quality of it. Don't get me wrong, the console and the controllers, they look fine. The controllers play fine, but the software on the device is shit. The games on the device are not good enough, and the whole PAL region gaming on it, which just destroys the fucking. I've not actually put this on to play, so I cannot confirm that I think that it actually does change the quality of it, but I've got no interest in playing it. It's going to sit on my shelf, unopened, and do the only thing it's actually good for, and that's looking good. Anyway, I went to the carbootsale last weekend and picked up most of this stuff. First off is a cuddly wicket. Now, you may know that I've got a wicket there. He's a Build-A-Bear wicket, that one. He's a Build-A-Bear, and this one is a Disney store. This cost £2. I'm a big fan of the Ewoks. I fucking love the Ewoks, so he's going to sit on my sofa. Not this one, the actual sofa downstairs. What else did I get? Okay, then a bunch of little figures. First out is Corporal Hicks, the Kenner figure from the Aliens. He didn't come with any accessories. He cost me 50p. I've got a couple of the Alien figures up there, so I'll stick them with the rest of them. It's good to find them though. He's in really nice condition. He's got no paint wear on him or nothing. Oh, well. In fact, I just found a tiny little bit at the very top of his antenna here. On radio. Still got a sticker, but no bugs. He's in good condition. Glad to get hold of him. Again, another figure for me shelf of figures. Next out is Squid Face. Or Squid Head. I'm pretty sure it's Squid Face. Now, he doesn't come with any accessories. I'm pretty sure this guy had a robe, but I picked him up for 50p in the car booty. Seems to be in good shape. Doesn't have any real wear on him or loose limbs. You know, his limbs will stay out. So he's in good condition. He can go on my Star Wars shelf and try and... Is he a good guy or a bad guy? All the aliens are bad guys, apart from Nimnu. And the Ewoks, I suppose. Next out is... Oh, I think his name's Quibi. I actually already own him, but he was only 50p. And this is in stunning condition. He has no paint wear on him anyway. Come on, you bastard. And his limbs are really tight. He's in great condition. So I can stick him up there with the rest of my Star Wars figures, and he's definitely a bad guy. Of the little figures I picked up, last out is this. It's a battle beast. His name's Sledgehammer. He's an elephant. Now, he doesn't have his thingy on him, his little hologram, unfortunately. But he only cost me £1. Now, that might sound like a lot of money for a little tiny guy like this, but these battle beasts, I'd happily pay £1 for them all day, every fucking day. Especially this one as well. He's not, I wouldn't say he's a rare, I don't know if any of them are truly rare, but he is one of the ones that fetches over £10. And most of the ones that I see online, he doesn't actually have his hologram, so, you know, he's a £10 little figure. It's quite cool. Little elephant. He's like, rah. He's in played with condition. I think it's right to say played with condition. Right then, next out is going to be... Sectors. Now, I don't remember these. I don't actually remember much about these figures. I really fucking don't. I had this one when I was a kid. Is this the one that came with like a little... I think it came with a bug, which had a wing action on it. You press the middle of the wings on where they connected, and it made the wings flap. And I think it had like a little, you know, like a capture quite device with its legs, so that it could actually hold some of the other figures in, as if it caught them and it'd fly away. I'm not 100% sure. I don't really remember. It's good to see that this guy still got his belt, because the belts do come on and off, if I remember right. I think they do. I don't want to take it off, because if I remember right, these are a twat to get on and off. He hasn't got any accessories apart from his belt. I paid £1 for him. I don't actually know if that's good value or not, but I am trying to pick up any of the toys I had when I was a kid, and I definitely had this guy. I don't know what his name was. I don't even remember if he was a good guy or a bad guy. He's just a guy. In fact, I had loads of them. I had silver versions of these as well. Can't remember if they were good guys or bad guys. And I used to use them as wrestling figures before I actually had the Hasbro wrestling figures back in the early 90s. I used to use the insides of it, a Hungry Hippos box, if I'm right. I used to take the stuff out of the box, reverse the box, and then double stack it inside so it was nice and thick. And I used to use that as a wrestling ring. And I used to use all my figures, big ones, small ones. These used to have battle royals, and they all managed to be different wrestlers who were actually real people, rather than, you know, instead of being him versus fucking Hicks or something like that, it would actually be like the British Bulldogs versus, you know, some other guy. Stand up, you bastards! Yeah, and yeah. Next out is another. This is actual wrestling figure. Stephanie McMahon Helmsley. Now, I've actually got the other version of this. Now, I think I did a video not so long ago in which I spoke about this one. Now, I've got both of these. It's the same figure. They have slightly different hairs. I don't know why they gave it different hair, because it is the same figure. And as far as I'm aware, if I'm remembering all this right, like, look, fair enough. I paid, it was £1. I swapped a can of Coke for him for hair off a trader that I know. This figure here, when this first came out, there was a little mistake on it. Like, Joe, and action figures tend to get a little, but the plastic moulding gets stuck together, and it has like the seam that goes between the front and the back of the plastic, and you get a little like join mark where it was help, you know, where it had like a little, what's the best way to describe it? A peg, or whatever. And they had to take it off, and it left a little circle mark on it. Now, this Stephanie Van Helmsley figure had that on it, but unfortunately, they didn't draw any knickers on the poor girl, and the little mark is actually in between the legs, where she connects. And there was a substantial uproar from Americans because, well, you know, it looked like she had a vagina. So she got dragged off the shelves quite quickly, and then soon after that they re-released the figure with a different colour dress so that they knew that it was all different. But they put knickers on it. But weirdly enough, they put, can you see that? Blue, the exact same colour blue as this dress is. And I don't know if there was a significant reason for them doing that. I really don't. All I know is that that's what they did. That's what they did to Stephanie Van Helmsley. Anyway, that's that. I picked up a Transformer. His name's, I think it's Headmaster Chrome Dome. Now, unfortunately, he doesn't seem to have his head, but I only paid 50p for him. He seems to transform quite easily, by the way. I'm not quite sure. I don't actually know much about this Transformer. I never knew this one existed until I found him in a car booty. He seems to be in decent condition, considering he doesn't actually have his head. Now, obviously his head's supposed to go here. And weirdly enough, you've got these little like levers here in the top which could be pressed down, and when you press them down, they move this thing at the front. Which, if I move it up, they're all coloured. I don't know much about him. I don't even remember him as an actual Transformer. But he does transform into a nice looking car of some kind. I don't know. He is what he is. Now I don't have much left here now. I've only got one. Oh no, a couple things left. Now this I picked up for £1. Now I've already got one of these ones, which you might be able to see up there. Where is it? There above my finger. Yeah. That's that. It's another one. Now I picked that up for £1. Unfortunately it's missing its battery and its back, but it was only £1. It's in decent condition. A couple of marks on the head. It is really hard to get hold of these Game Boy Advance SPs without having scratches on them, so I'm happy with that. It looks, it needs a bit of a clean, but it only needs a clean. It's not nasty. It's no real marks on it. It's just dirt. It came with a copy of Pac-Man Collection as well, which is a game that I already own. So I'm gonna swap that out. No, I'm giving this Game Boy Advance SP to me mate Glenn. Like, the amount of stuff I've got off him over the years, I've already got this model, so I was going to pass this to Glenn, let him get the battery for it and all that, see how it goes. You know, job's a good one. Last two things now. First thing is, now this cost me 50p. It's a Dreamcast game. ECW Hardcore Revolution. Now it's a shit game. It's a shit game, but it is a wrestling game that doesn't have a date on it, and I'm happy to pick up the non-dated wrestling games. just to. It is suffering from a damaged hinge. It's really hard to find these old cases which are in good condition. I'm not too fussed about that. And the disc is inside it. I'm just trying to put the fucking thing back together now. And it has its manual too. It's always worth giving a look at the inside of these as well, because they usually have a separate thing at the back. And you quite often find, if you buy these second hand, that people will take a game out of a console and stick them in the back cover, and and then put the normal disc back in the front. I've actually done that a couple of times. I got Resident Evil 3, which had some skateboarding game or snowboarding game inside it. I don't really remember, and that was only like 50 pence as well. Last out. Now, I didn't buy this in the car booty. I bought this on eBay. I paid £25 for this. It's something I've wanted for a while, and it's Splatterhouse for the Sega Dreamcast. This is beautiful. This. It's got the disc, the soundtrack, and then inside you have a vinyl sticker, and then the instruction manual, which actually has a little comic on it. It's got the listings for the soundtrack. It has original imagery from the arcade machines, and then this really cool image here. But it also doubles as a poster. A really cool poster. That's Splatterhouse for the Sega Dreamcast. Now, this technically isn't an official release game. This is a fan-made game. It's Beats of Rage, using the Beats of Rage engine. So, yeah, it's something I've wanted to own for a while. I hadn't had a working Dreamcast for quite a while. My Dreamcast stopped working, so I swapped my non-working Dreamcast with my mate Glenn last weekend, because he had a bunch of Dreamcasts. He said he thinks it works, the one he swapped me. My other one wasn't working, so if this one doesn't work, it means I'm in the same position I was. So he wants to see if he can mod the one I passed him. So hopefully I've got a working Dreamcast now, so I can start playing some of my Dreamcast games. I've been lost about my Dreamcast. It's one of my favourite consoles of all time. I did get a Dreamcast when it first came out, and I do genuinely think the Dreamcast is the most underrated, underappreciated consoles of all time. I'd love Sega to be successful with this Sega Mega Drive Mini, and I'd love them to turn around and bring out more minis from more of the consoles. You know, it'd be nice for them to do a Master System Mini, because the Master System has some fucking awesome games on it. I'd like them to do a Sega Mega CD 32X Mini as well. Obviously, both consoles in one, because there was a few games that needed both consoles anyway to play, so it's doable. You know, Sony have got the PlayStation Mini, so it's doable for them to be able to do a mini of the Mega CD, the 32X, because there's a bunch of games on both those consoles which most of us cannot find or play because of the games are expensive to get hold of. You know, Knuckles Chaotix, expensive game to get hold of. And obviously, if you're lucky enough to be able to get hold of the software, getting hold of the hardware nowadays is hard, because it's now an old failing hardware. The Mega CD wasn't a very good console for its lifespan. 32X was shocking, just wasn't good enough. But there's a lot of great games on there I'd love to be able to plug and play. You know, I know we can emulate them, but I'd rather be official. And I'd love Sega to turn around and give us a Saturn Mini. The amount of great games on a Saturn which you just can't play. You can't get hold of them. They're so expensive. You know, come on Sega, give us this. And you know, while I was saying it, give us a Dreamcast Mini. do it, please, because these consoles they're your legacy, Sega. And you know, this Mega Drive Mini hopefully will show you what your legacy was. You know, At Games butchered your legacy for years. It's time for you to rebuild it. I don't expect you to ever get back into the console making process. You know, it's been way too long without yous, and I'd rather Sega just backtrack and just make games again properly, and you know, leave Sonic the Hedgehog alone for a while. Play with some of your other IPs. You've got great IPs. Afterburner, you know, Streets of Rage, Golden Axe. Dig some of these IPs up and make good games out of them. You know, Alex Kidd. There's so much good to be had. Anyway, guys, I'm Gazz Cavalera. Thanks for watching. Please tune in next time when I should have more shit to show you. I don't know where I'm going to start putting this shit because it's starting to get out of hand now. But yeah, bye.